Um, you. Good morning and Happy New Year, council members, state officials and representatives and members of the public. I hope everyone enjoyed the holidays and had a chance to rest and recharge. I'd like to call the December 10th meeting, January 7th meeting of the Social Equity Council to order. It is 10:01 a.m. So at this time, I'll call the roll. Councilmember Abercrombie.
Here.
Councilmember Beeman.
Present.
Councilmember Betts.
Present.
Councilmember Borges.
Here.
I am here. Councilmember Gaddis.
Hi, everybody. I'm here.
Councilmember Hawkins. Councilmember Jefferson.
Here.
Councilmember Karpowitz.
Here, good morning.
Morning. Councilmember Medina.
Present.
Councilmember Name.
Here.
Councilmember Shirley.
Present.
Councilmember Skyers Thomas. Councilmember Valeries. Councilmember Venator. Councilmember Walton. Okay, we have a quorum. Our first business item on the agenda is approval of the December 10th, 2024 meeting minutes. May I have a motion?
So
moved.
Second.
Great. Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Terrific. I do see that council members Valeries and Hawkins have now joined us. Welcome. Our next item is to enter into executive session to discuss pending litigation. May I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Aye.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye. Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Council members, you should have received a Teams invite to enter this session. Please leave the Zoom meeting and use the Teams platform to join. To members of the public, we appreciate your patience and we'll return shortly. Just about all here. Don't see Councilman Walton yet. Get started. Thank you. We're back and appreciate your patience. I'm going to recall the roll. Councilmember Abercrombie.
Here.
Councilmember Beeman. Councilmember Betts.
Present.
Councilmember Borges.
Here.
I am here. Councilmember Gaddis.
Here.
Councilmember Hawkins.
Present.
Councilmember Jefferson.
Here.
Councilmember Karpowitz.
Present.
Councilmember Medina. Councilmember Name.
Present.
Councilmember Shirley. Councilmember Skyers Thomas.
Sorry.
Thank you. Councilmember Valeries.
Present.
Councilmember Venator. Okay. Councilmember Walton.
Present.
Great. The next agenda item is a vote on the strategic plan recommendations. And so I will turn it over to ED McGee to provide an overview of those recommendations.
Awesome. Thank you, Madam Chairwoman. I'll refer to the slide deck or the presentation of the strategic plan that was shared with each and every one of you. Within that plan, it included 11 activities within 4 focused areas. And so I'm not going to belabor the hour here, but I'll yield back to Chairwoman Comer should any of the members have any questions. I'll say this: the 4 key focused areas included focusing in on our staff, that is developing our operating model, creating an organizational model, resetting staff culture, and establishing program expertise. Within our council focus area, integrating council and staff a bit better, and establishing and deepening relationship with our counselors by creating ways of working with one another. We wanted to focus in on our community reinvestment, clarifying our strategy, and establishing a success criteria and by ways by which we are able to measure success. Lastly, we wanted to focus and will focus on our industry, and that includes an end-to-end entrepreneur journey, the restructuring of our cannabis loan program, and lastly, focusing in on the workforce development strategy. Madam Chair?
Thank you for that context. May I have a motion to approve the strategic plan recommendations?
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? Okay, hearing none. All in favor?
Aye.
Any
Aye.
opposed? Any abstentions? Fantastic. Our next agenda item is the approval of our contract with CohnReznick. And again, for context, I will turn it over to E.D. McGee.
Awesome. Thank you, Madam Chair. I'll actually turn it over to our legal director, Mari Collazo Cruz, who will provide just a brief context on our contract. Mari? Yeah, I think you're on mute.
Yeah, she's not not showing on mute, but I can't hear her either.
Oh, it's okay. I can take it. No, it's all good. So as you all know, we have been in a current contract, a master contract with CohnReznick. Again, CohnReznick provides a particular skill set, if you would, by verifying the residency and the income eligibility requirements during the application process for many of our social equity applicants. We are in the process of taking a look at all of our contracts to ensure that we are in compliance, not only with our council, our board, also in compliance with the state of Connecticut and making sure we are following state regulation, et cetera. And we also wanted to make sure that, number one, we look at hourly rates wherever we need to save to reinvest those dollars back into the community is what we're doing. And we're at a place where we have staff, competent staff, who is able to do a lot of what CohnReznick was providing in terms of reviewing social equity plans and all of that. And so now we're at a place where we need to renew that contract. And we are in a good place, and we wanted to be sure to bring that forward to the council so that we can continue in hopes of a lottery opening, verify applications, and provide timely feedback to you, the council, and also the applicant.
Madam
You want to say something, Monty, or?
Can you hear me?
Yes,
Can
we
hear
can
you
now.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, great. No, I think you summarized pretty well. I'll just say that for purposes of clarifying procurement, this contract would be an SOW under a master services agreement. So as such, it doesn't require an official RFP or any such procurement because DAS did all that under the master service agreement. So it'd really be just an unofficial sort of official extension of the current SOW. The master services agreement that we were under expired as of 12/31/2024. So currently, while we do have EJVs that are pending review, we don't have a contract in place with ConResnick, which is why we need to issue a new SOW under the current MSA, which is currently in place through DAS.
Thank you. Councilman Gaddis.
Move to approve the renewal of the contract?
I think we had a motion. Did we have a motion already? I thought.
No, we didn't have a motion.
Oh, we didn't have a
Madam
motion. Okay. So, may I have a second?
Second.
Second.
Any discussion? Okay, hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
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 Any opposed? Any abstentions? Okay, thank you. Our next item on the agenda is our committee reports. Are there updates or reports from any of our committee chairs, co-chairs?
Madam Chair, are we intentionally going out of order, or are we gonna do the executive
Oh.
report?
Why do I keep forgetting that?
I'm
Thank you.
okay with it.
Was at the bottom of my page. Well, let's do the committee reports and then I'll circle back. Thank you, Councilman Jefferson. Any committee reports? Okay, hearing none. Edie McGee, back to you.
Oh, that was easy. I thought I had more time. And thank you, Councilor Jefferson. Happy New Year and welcome back. Happy New Year to our guests. Those of you in the other side of our meeting today. You all know the saying, there is no elevator to success. You must take the stairs. And that was not by Brandon McGee, that's by Zig Ziglar. Every day, my team, alongside our partners at DECD and other agencies and our amazing council, we take a few steps towards supporting the SEC's mission. Let's see, Madi, if you could go into presentation mode, that'll be great. And then the next slide, yeah. There we go. As you all see, and I'll continue to remind you all, we refreshed our mission, and that is to promote equitable economic prosperity by supporting social equity entrepreneurs and reinvesting in communities most impacted by the war on drugs. And our vision is very simple and it's clear, and it's in the communities most impacted by the war on drugs. We want to see them prosperous and we want to see them thrive. Next slide, please. So within my presentation, I want to quickly just cover financial summary, share with you some updates on the total number of social equity plans, workforce development plans reviewed during 2024, talk briefly about our loan program, of course, our shining star, the community reinvestment, which is why we exist. In preparation of the 2025 legislative session, I want to just point out things and then end off with some upcoming meetings and events. Next slide. As you all can see, before you is just a summary of our fiscal year 24-25 budget. With the support of this council, the state of Connecticut, and taxpayers, we approved a budget of $10.2 million. As you can see, year-to-date spending through November 30th, we have currently 8 full-time employees, bringing us to $598,548 as of obviously November 30th. As you can see, other expenses that includes contracts, agreements, supplies, et cetera. We're at $115,000 there with the total social equity expenditures through November 30th at $714,251. It is extremely important to know of the 10 million, as you see here, we have earmarked $5.6 million for community reinvestment. Next slide, please. So you all know I joined the SEC about 6 months ago, and I can't believe it's literally been 6 months. We quickly, as I've mentioned, adopted a budget of 10 million, and the tall task of reimagining the SEC and realigning our staff and programs still sits in front of us. And as you may know, there have been ongoing meetings with staff and council to align skill sets with the programs to better serve our community and, frankly, to get our entire agency in compliance with contracts, programs, and internal policies and procedures that drive our work. So I am proud to announce that we will be onboarding additional staff to support many of our programs, particularly our loan program, our research analyst, and communications within the coming months. My staff and I are reconciling many of the invoices, which I should have mentioned during the last slide, from December. So I will report on those during our meeting in person next month. As we start Q1 of 2025, I want you all to be extremely excited about celebrating the amazing work here at the Social Equity Council. And we've been doing a lot of great work to support our organization's mission and vision. The SEC staff, specifically our success and strategy team, and I have been working actively aligning internal systems to expedite the review of social equity and workforce development plans, provide staff training, increase communications with our social equity entrepreneurs. We will continue with our virtual roundtables with our social equity entrepreneurs, of which we started last year, to provide updates on the status of the Social Equity Council, and also hear directly from the industry to provide more proactive communications and better serving many of our startup businesses. Now, for 2024, the Social Equity Council reviewed, again, social equity plans and workforce development plans. Special shout out to Cesar and Tiffany, who manages our success team. We successfully reviewed 58 social equity plans and 57 workforce development plans. And again, congratulations to the team on successfully reviewing those and approving those. Moving along to the second column that you see before you is the Social Equity Loan Program. I am extremely pleased and excited to announce that we will be closing on 2 $500,000 loans within the 10 million bond funds out of the 50 million from the revolving loan fund. And at the same time, we have been actively working on the loan program and reimagining what we offer our social equity entrepreneurs to serve their needs a bit better. Now, the current program was designed with the typical DECD client in mind, including collateral and other requirements that sometimes limit what we can offer our social equity entrepreneurs. Internally, the Loan Advisory Group under the Finance Committee has been meeting to assist our Social Equity Council staff in redesigning our social equity loan program. So more to come on our loan program and all of the great work that the team is doing to shore up those funds. Moving along to column 3, community reinvestment. So in the coming months, fingers crossed, dotting I's and crossing T's, we will be sharing the notice of funding opportunities. Our team, alongside many other partners, we've been working on the upcoming 2025 Notice of Funding Opportunity for Community Reinvestment Program within prioritize disproportionately impacted areas, better known as DIAs, based on identified areas of impact informed by community conversations, data, the council, and members of the Black and Puerto Rican Caucus, not limited to, which we aim to release by the end of Q1. It's also important to note that during our strategic planning process, we were able to hone in on our community reinvestment strategy. We will be extremely intentional about accountability from grant managers and recipients, ensuring deliverables and reporting requirements are met. We also want to document our impact and inform future funding. We will further discuss the NOFO, that is the Notice of Funding Opportunities, during our upcoming Reinvestment Workforce Committee meeting to be scheduled for February. And then lastly, just a quick legislative update. Special shout out to all of my former colleagues. Tomorrow is sort of like when you go back to high school. They'll be kicking off the 2025 legislative session, and I am excited about what will take place during this next session. As of today, though, I have met one-on-one with key legislative leaders, specifically the Black and Puerto Rican Caucus, the Senate, and the House Speaker. Just to name a few. I will continue to meet with leaders to share progress on the SEC, gather important feedback. But one of the things that I've been sharing with all of the members of the legislature and community leaders, quite frankly, is that the doors are open here at the Social Equity Council. We accept their feedback, their recommendations, et cetera, in order to make our mission and vision come alive even more. We recently, on behalf of the SEC and the council, we recently submitted a report to the state legislature on cannabis establishments within communities of color as required by state statute. Just to give you a bit of context on that report, the data examined showed that the cannabis establishments in Connecticut are not predominantly located in communities of color. There are, in fact, 69 active adult use cannabis establishments in Connecticut, not including exclusively medical marijuana licenses. The most common license type is retailer, and the least common types are cultivator and transporter. Out of 44 towns that have cannabis establishments, 11 are communities of color. These municipalities include Bridgeport, Danbury, Hartford, Meriden, New Britain, New Haven, New London, Norwalk, Stamford, Waterbury, and Willimantic. The municipalities with the most cannabis facilities are Manchester and Stamford. Both have 4 cannabis establishments, and the community of color with the most cannabis establishments is Stamford, which has 3 hybrid retailers and 1 delivery service. I'll continue to share with you all updates on many of our establishments throughout the state, but I'll continue to work alongside our success strategy team as we dive a bit deeper in a lot of the research. Next slide, please. All right. We have a few upcoming events and meetings, and I just want to, just a shameless plug here. Counselors, if you'd be so kind to complete the survey that was included in the last email that was shared with you. We're doing our best to streamline communication. I think beyond just email, because you all are also working professionals, leaders in your own right. Your lives are busy, so we can't thank you enough for the support and your time that you give to the Social Equity Council. So we want to be able to text you and gently remind you of meetings and gather input, and it'll give me an opportunity to connect with you as well. So please, please, please complete those surveys. Also, we will have some office hours, in person or via Teams, your preference, on Mondays and Wednesdays, starting now. So if any of you are interested in stopping by the office, or you want to meet in person, feel free to reach out to myself or Georgette Cicero. This will be a great opportunity for each of you to dive deeper on the finances of the SEC or the strategic plan. You want to tell me off? No, sir, just joking. Y'all can laugh. But it'll be an opportunity for you all to connect with us and also to meet with a lot of our staff. We will also have a special council meeting. This will be a great opportunity as a refresher to provide quick training, give you all some updates on where we're going, provide you some space to talk. So I am hoping that many of you can attend that meeting on Monday, January 27th. The meeting will be from 6 to 7. We will also have our quarterly meetings to be determined. We'll share that calendar with you. And then lastly, all of you are invited to participate in our monthly social equity entrepreneur virtual roundtables. I'd encourage you to come. Just be a listening participant to hear directly from many of our businesses that are out there that are sharing with us best practices, some pain points, success stories, and we have quite a few, and we want to strengthen those relationships. So to that end, I think that is, we have one more slide. And I just want to show you this again. I want y'all to know we're just not flying blind, y'all. We have a calendar of scheduled deliverables. As you can see, it's broken out by quarters, who's responsible for what. This is also included in our strategic plan packet that you all have received. And I just wanted to just put this back on the forefront. This is driving the work of the Social Equity Council, and it's helping us to operationalize all of what we've discussed during the last 8.5 weeks of developing the 3-year strategic plan. So that concludes my lengthy report, and I appreciate you all listening. Back to you, Madam Chair.
Thank you. Any questions from my council colleagues? All righty. Is there anything for the good of the order? I see nothing. Councilman Gaddis.
Move to adjourn.
Have a second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you all so much. Have a lovely day.
Take care.
Happy New Year, everyone.
Happy
Happy New Year.